How we doing? How we doing? How we doing, guys? And welcome back to the Exec Talk Podcast. I am your host, Velez. What's up to episode 178. So, as promised, I came back back-to-back on you guys. You'll receive this on Saturday morning to talk about Formula One, Cooper Kupp finally signing, Cincinnati Bengals getting closer to a T. Higgins and Jamar Chase extension and what those numbers will look like or are possibly going to look like. The Aaron Rodgers situation, is it going to be the Giants? Is it going to be Steelers? Is it going to be the Vikings? NASCAR, where they're going, because I haven't even looked, to be honest. And just what I see in the Western Conference from Lakers, Nuggets, OKC, and the Timberwolves, what I see from them and possibly in the playoffs. So let's get it cracking. Formula One, they finished free practice 2 earlier today in the morning. Fastest guy was Charles Leclerc. Oscar Piastri came second. In front of Lando. Yuki Tsunoda in the Racing Bulls came in 4th. Lewis came in 5th. Isaac Hadjar, the rookie, he came in 6th. Max came in 7th. Nico Hulkenberg in 8th for Sauber. Lance Stroll in 9th. George Russell 10th. Carlos Sainz 11th in the Williams. Albon in the Williams, 12th. Alonso in the Aston, 13th. Jack Doohan, the rookie, in the Alpine, in 14th. Pierre Gasly, 15th. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the rookie in Mercedes, 16th. Liam Lawson for Red Bull, 17th. Not the rookie. Gabriel Bortoleto, the rookie of Sauber, an F2 past F2 champion. He came in 18th. Esteban Ocon in the Haas in 19th, and Oliver Berman, not the rookie, but, a pretty new driver with only 2 races under his belt, with 0 laps because he crashed in FP1 pretty badly, at least for the car. He was safe, he was good, but the car, he trashed it. So what we learned from free practice 2 is that essentially Ferrari is good on the qualifying pace, on the 1-lap pace, but McLaren has the long speed. And when you talk about Formula One and what it comes from quali trim, which is qualifying trim, low fuel, fastest tires, usually a softs, that's short run speed. And when you talk about race trim and, race pace, as they like to say it, that's long speed. That's with a full fuel load on a medium, on a hard. Race trim is where you want to be at the best at. That's what Verstappen got so good for the last 4 years, is race trim and Red Bull. So right now it looks like it's trending towards McLaren being the best on race day, but possibly Ferrari getting the pole. From what we're looking at. Surprises, Yuki Tsunoda, the Racing Bulls. I think that it's going to be a good season for them. I think they're going to be a lot closer to their sister company, not their sister company, but the higher Red Bull team. I feel like they're going to have some spoilers in qualifying for sure, have possible podiums. I like how that team is shaping out. I think it's going to be a real battle between teammates Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, not only for the constructors title at McLaren, as they probably will, exchange wins, but for the drivers' championship, they're probably going to chunk each other for points throughout the season, which opens the door for like a Charles Leclerc, a Lewis Hamilton, a Max Verstappen, a George Russell. This race, however, in Melbourne at Albert Park, I think that it will be McLaren getting the win. I think it's going to be pretty from 1 to 4. I believe it's going to be probably something like McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, somewhere around those lines is what I'm looking at. The Red Bull does seem to be lagging behind a little bit, especially in the slow corners, like they had problems with that problem last year, especially at the late stages of the season. But I think McLaren is going to be possibly the most dominant team and car at Albert Park. I think that also Lewis is going to have a good showing, not a great one. He still has to get used to the car. Charles just put the fastest lap in FP2. That just shows that he's more comfortable with the car. The car setup is probably more tailored to him because he's been in the car for 4 years. So I expect Lewis to have 2 to 3 to 4 races, possibly maybe 5 races, to try to get his real feet wet under him in that car and then really start pushing the pace of that car, extracting every single bit he has from it. It could happen this weekend, but as of now, he is about a tenth, about 4/10 behind Leclerc. Not a lot, but in Formula One standards, it's big, not huge, but it's big. 4/10 is a substantial amount. The one that I'm looking at is Max. Max is 6/10 off that number one time by Leclerc, and that's kind of interesting because if the car is not up to snuff, Max can extract everything he has from it, but if it doesn't have the pace, especially in race trim, we could be looking at a possible struggling beginning for that Red Bull, trying to defend the 4 championships and try to make it 5, first time since Michael Schumacher has done that. Even though I want Lewis to win, that's what Max is going for. So, in my humble opinion, I think it's going to be Lando. Qualifying might be a surprise. It might be a Charles Leclerc. It might be a George Russell. Yuki Tsunoda, an Oscar Piastri. Maybe a Lewis if he figures it out overnight, the tune and stuff like that, the balance of the car. But I think it's between Norris and Leclerc. The fastest time has been put in by Leclerc. We have at 9:30. We have another practice session before the 1 a.m. qualifying. I will definitely be awake for that. But yeah, I think it's between Leclerc, Piastri, Norris. In my humble opinion, I think Lewis can sneak up there, but he has to extract everything out of the car, and I just don't know if he's that comfortable to do that at this moment in time. So in about an hour and 40 minutes, we have FP3, and we'll get a little bit more information on that. NASCAR, before we go to the Cooper Kupp signing, NASCAR is going to they don't race this week. They race next week. They go to Las Vegas in 2 weeks on the... No, they race this week. 14th, 15th, 16th. Yeah. So they go to Las Vegas. Kyle Larson won last year. Kyle Larson's really good at this track. If there is a track that Kyle Larson could get his win and just get into the playoffs, it would be this one. I expect Christopher Bell to be strong. I expect Chase Elliott to be strong. I expect the Fords back to be strong on the oval. Got to watch out for a guy like Tyler Reddick. He has been up there over the last few races since the beginning of the season, just hasn't gotten the checkered flag. Look at a guy like Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, of course, a Denny Hamlin could win Las Vegas. Also, the hometown kid from Las Vegas, Kyle Busch. Watch him. He always races good there. He has a lot of wins there. I think he has 5 or 6 wins there in the main category. And then across all categories, I think he had like 9 across trucks and Xfinity. So I think Kyle Larson could be the betting favorite. We'll see after qualifying. But don't count out a guy like Kyle Busch, like a Denny Hamlin, any of the JGR cars, 2311. racing with Tyler Reddick. I don't think Bubba Wallace will be very good at this track, even though he has a good car. Blaney, the Fords, Busher. I think it's going to be a fun race. I like Las Vegas. It's a good, fun track. I think it's a mile and a half. Yeah, a mile and a half, tri-oval. You know, it's nice. It's a nice track, exciting, good speed. Not a short track by any means, and I expect a really, really good showing from Larson, as well as the Hendrick cars and JGR. Surprise, guys. I would say watch out for like a Noah Gregson in the 4. Ross Chastain in the 1. You know, people like that. I would Ty Gibbs in the 54. Those are the people that I would keep an eye out on. But Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano. Those are the people that I'm expecting to be William Byron to be strong at this track. All right, so Cooper Kupp goes to the Seahawks. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about that the Seahawks were a possible landing spot, especially because they got rid of DK. You add them to JSN, possibly draft a running back. They also signed DeMarcus Lawrence yesterday, and he immediately fired back at the Cowboys, saying that they weren't going to win nothing. You know, I think overall it's a great signing. They gave him 3 years, $45 million, $50 million a year. Do I think that it is a move that just cements what they have to do and that's it? Or do I think that they are supposed to, you know, possibly keep doing stuff? I think that they should keep doing stuff. I think that they should. Why? Because I think that they still need another legit pass catcher. You have JSN, you have Cooper Kupp, you have Kenneth Walker as your running back, Charlemagne as well. But I think that you need a speed guy. And I think you get him in the draft, possibly a Matthew Golden from Texas, an Isaiah Bond. You know, I think that there's guys in the draft that you could definitely a DK from Florida, 4-3, 4-2. There's guys you can go get. It's a fast wide receiver class. Maybe you want a Luther Burden. You know, so yeah, Cooper Kupp joins the Seahawks on a 3-year deal, $45 million. I think that it's going to be a great addition to the team for Sam Darnold. JSN could be your number 1, but your safety blanket's going to be Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp does not drop the ball. Cooper Kupp is a strong receiver, can go over the middle. You can hit him on a post. You can hit him on a corner. An excellent route runner, an excellent release package, strong at the point of attack. So, and he'll block. So I think it's going to be a very, very, very good signing for the Seahawks, and they've done pretty well. You know, the Seahawks have. Other than that, Fields will wear the number 7, so I guess he wants to channel his inner Michael Vick. Jets have worn number 7, Ken O'Brien, Boomer Esiason, Frank Reich, Geno Smith, and Tom Tupa. Other than that, Larry Joby and Michael Hoyt will miss the first 6 games of the season. The Bills just acquired these guys in free agency. They tested positive for PEDs. Dumbasses. That's what I call those. Marcus Epps goes to the Patriots. All right, so the Bengals are closing in on deals of Chase and Higgins. because of what Myles Garrett got as a edge, he got $40 million a year. We are expecting Chase to come in either somewhere between 40.1 or 41 million a year is what we are looking at for Jamar Chase, because they told him, and they said publicly, the team did, we are going to make him the highest non-QB in NFL history. Higgins might come around the 30 to $35 million range, possibly 32 and a half. Somewhere around there is what I'm expecting for T. Higgins. Let's see. Other than that, it's Sterling Shepard stays with Baker Mayfield for another year on a 1-year deal there. Dante Fowler Jr. for proud Gator goes back to the Cowboys. Let's see here. Commanders agree. Herbig, you get another offensive lineman, Nate Herbig, 1-year deal for the Commanders, former Steeler. Let's see here. Really not nothing. Really not nothing. Other than that. Kareem Hunt returns to the Chiefs. 1-year contract. Elijah Mitchell went to the also went to the Chiefs. I think that's a good running back room. Elijah Mitchell, Kareem Hunt, and Isaiah Pacheco. I think that's a pretty good running back room, at least for the Chiefs. Other than that, $4 billion, over $4 billion has been dished out since Monday in free agency. Tevin Jenkins visits Seattle. That'd be interesting. The former Packer. Tim Patrick resigns with the Lions, the receiver. I think he's going to be better this year coming off of those injuries. Let's see here. Pharaoh Brown to the Dolphins. Free agent deal. Not even a 1-year deal. Free agent deal. Javonte went to the Cowboys. Najee Harris to the Chargers. Rigo Dowdle to the Panthers. Kenneth Gainwell, Super Bowl champion, to the Steelers. And Elijah Mitchell with the Chiefs. Rondale Moore visits with the Vikings after losing his season last year to injury. That's about it, guys. That is it. Nothing else. Miles Sanders signs with the Cowboys. That's a desperate move because there was no other running backs to go get. I still think they're drafting Ashton Genty. I just think so. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is a great signing for the Seattle Seahawks, for that defense to pair up with what they got on the defensive side, with the kid Byron Murphy, not Byron Murphy. What's his name? Murphy Jr., the kid, the rookie the second-year player this year. Oh, that was a rookie last year. D tackle from Texas. I think he's going to be good, and now with DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be even better. Along with Nwosu on the edge. The best available free agents left is Cam Robinson, Rasul Douglas, Stephon Diggs, Mekhi Becton, and Amari Cooper. I think Stephon Diggs will be a great addition to the Chiefs, Commanders. I would even Seattle to go get him. a team like maybe if you're the Giants and you want Aaron Rodgers, bring in Stephon Diggs next to Malik Neighbors, something like that. I don't know where Amari Cooper would fit, to be honest. I don't know if he should go to the Chiefs. I don't know if he should go, again, to the Giants, to the Commanders. I think he's just like, you might have to wait a little bit on where he's going. Heineke goes to the Chargers. Contract extension, 1 year, $6.2 million. Bears signs Olamide Zaccheaus from Washington, so that opens up the spot for the fourth receiver. So we'll see, because De'Ami Brown, I think, also left, if I'm not mistaken. So they might be looking wide receiver in the draft, possibly. Laviska Shenault signs with the Bills. Liam Eichenberg resigns 1 year with the Dolphins, our offensive lineman. Kayvon Chason signs with the Patriots after being with the Jaguars and multiple teams. Adoree Jackson signs with the Eagles. So after they use CJ, Darius Slay, and Bradbury, they sign another corner, Adoree Jackson, former USC standout. Asante Samuel got hosted by the Cardinals on a visit today after 4 seasons with the Chargers, so we'll see what happens there. Flacco visits the Giants. Aaron Stinney, 1 year deal with the Giants. Commanders sign Igbenogany, the former first-round pick by the Dolphins, the corner. They re-sign him. Another 1 year deal. Gardner Minshew to the Chiefs, so it doesn't matter. Daniel Jones, we talked about that yesterday. Metcalf wears 4. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. Nothing else. So, Cooper Kupp, Seattle, good move. I like it. Demarcus Lawrence, good move. I like it. They still needed to add a couple more pieces, but I like it. I like the moves. All right, let's talk about the NBA. OKC is by far the best team in the West. Shea is the MVP. They have depth for days. You're talking about Chet, J-Dub, J. Will, the other Williams, the one from Arkansas, because J-Dub is from St. Bonaventure. You talk about Isaiah Joe hitting threes, Isaiah Hartenstein, and then Lou Dort. So you don't have to worry about depth with them. What you have to worry about is the youth. They're still the second youngest team in the NBA. Yes, they have some playoff experience from last year, but you're going to be facing a Jokic, you're going to be facing a Steph, and you're going to be facing a Bron. And an Ant. And a Luka. So people are saying, "Oh, you want to hold off to face them until the conference finals." Yes and no. Because of their youth, yes, you don't want them in the first round. The fresh legs, motivated, looking to tear the world apart. Obviously not. But if you get them in the conference finals and they're a well-oiled machine at that point, you're going into razor teeth. Now, the Warriors are 6. The Timberwolves are 7. And the Lakers are 4th. Lakers just got blown out yesterday. After Luka scored 45, Giannis and Dame blew them out at home. And the Golden State Warriors won by 20 over the Kings yesterday as Steph Curry hits his 4,000th three but only scores 11 points, and him and Jimmy only combined for 17 points in a It was a 25-point game. They brought it down to 10 by halftime, and then they won by 20. They look great. They're 13-1 since Jimmy got there. 6 in a row. Timberwolves have won 6 in a row. So it's the Lakers with the LeBron injury. They cannot keep up. They have no Jackson Hayes. They have no Rui Hachimura. So it's them trying to keep afloat. They have a 3-game lead above the Warriors in 6th, and they're in 4th. The Warriors have to make up 3 games on Houston, but then you would face OKC in the second round if you're the 4-5 slot. So, in my humble opinion, I think the Thunder, Denver, although they have some flaws because they don't shoot threes, nearly enough. I'm not talking about Boston, but, you got to shoot somewhere in the mid 15th to 10th in three-point attempts at least, but they're like 25th or below, like 28th if not last in attempts a game. As well, they don't shoot a good percentage. So they run everything through Jokic and Murray. You have the Lakers, which Luka and LeBron are great together, especially defensively, but their defense falls apart. They're a 120 defensive rating since LeBron went down. Again, no Jackson Hayes, no Rui Hachimura. This is just Dorian Finney-Smith, Vando, Austin Reeves. That's about it. They play Goodwin. But if they get healthy, they're a true threat because of how they play defensively and how LeBron and Luka bounce off each other offensively. And then you still have Austin Reeves. You have Minnesota, where they're finding their footing with Julius Randle back, with Dante DiVincenzo back. They're fully healthy, fully stocked up. Ant's playing great, 4th leading scorer in the NBA. I wish he was at 30, but hopefully we get that next year. Because I think he can get there, 30 points a game. I think he could be as efficient as Shea if he just allows himself to not fall in love with the three-pointer and just plays his game, does the mid-range, attacks the rim. He'll find that balance. He's still young, but I think that there is an MVP in his future. He just has to get it before, like, Wemby or Luka. Shea's going to get one this year, so, some people say Tatum, Cade Cunningham, possibly, Paolo Banchero, possibly. I'm the youngins that are coming up in the game. Although Giannis can obviously win one, so can Jokic. They can win one. Shea can win another one. So it's Minnesota with Gobert and Julius Randle, Ant, McDaniels, Dante DiVincenzo, Dillingham, Shannon, with them. And then you got Golden State, with Curry, 37, happy birthday today to Steph, to Chef. Top 10 player of all time, greatest shooter of all time, only guy to ever hit 4,000 threes, 800 above Harden in second. So Harden is closer to 9th, Paul George, than number 1, Steph Curry, and he's second in all-time made threes. He got 3,186 or something like that. Curry just hit 2 threes yesterday, but he just needed 2 threes to get to 4,000. They won by 20 with him scoring just 11. He had a sore back yesterday. I hope that's no cause for concern. He's going to be back to his 30-point ways here shortly. He have a good game against Denver on Monday at home. Good stretch of games here to test them heading into the playoffs. They have the Lakers. They face OKC. They face Denver. They face Milwaukee. So this is going to be a real test here in the next coming week. But I like the way they're playing. They're playing like they used to play. Jimmy Kuminga came back yesterday, scored 18 in 20 minutes. Looked active, looked healthy. Kuminga, Jimmy, and Draymond are an incredible defensive wing combination. And then Jimmy's just finding the right reads, finding the cuts behind the defense, everybody selling out to stop Curry. That's why he had 11 points. I'm talking about selling out, just looking at him, not looking at the ball, back cut to death, open threes for Moody, Buddy Hield, Quentin Post, GP, Moses Moody. So, everybody got a piece of the Guy Santos. Everybody got a piece of the action yesterday. Draymond led them in scoring, 23 points off of 4 threes. So that's the West to me. I don't think Houston has any candle can hold any candle in the playoffs to any of those teams. They're not experienced enough. And the Grizzlies just have not figured it out. Ja is in and out of the lineup. Jaren's in and out of the lineup. Their offense is still, they used to be number 1 or number 2 in the league. I don't think that's the case anymore. And their defense lacks a little bit to try to stop a guy like Luka, LeBron, Steph, Jokic, Shea. Like, I just don't see it in the cards. On the Eastern side, I think it's literally a 3-team race. To me, it's literally Cavs, Boston, Bucks. Do I believe the Bucks can beat Boston if they're fully healthy in a series? Yes, I do. I believe that with Brook Lopez and Giannis, along with Kuzma as a defender, with Dame, I believe that they can cause enough problems. And if Dame gets hot in the fourth quarter and becomes that closer, he's averaging 25 a game this year. So I believe that he will step up in the playoffs, and Giannis playing the way he plays. I believe that it is possible. Can the Cavs beat them? Absolutely. They're basically matching them in threes. They're 1 and 2 in the league. Their defense is incredible with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and you got Isaac Okoro, and you still got Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench. So I think they have a shot. A surprise team in the East that I would probably, maybe Indiana or the Magic. Everybody else is shit. I do think that it will be a tougher road for Boston if everybody's healthy, if a Tyrese Halliburton's healthy, if they face the New York Knicks and they face Jalen Brunson healthy with Anunoby and Hart, and McHale and Robinson. But do I think that a challenge is going to pose itself until the Eastern Conference Finals? Probably not. Probably not. Whether that is Cleveland, whether that is the Bucks, I don't think anybody else will get to there. I think Indiana will fall short of what they did last year because teams are healthy. So I'm literally looking at Boston, Cavs, and Bucks with the surprise team, maybe Indiana or Magic in a surprise, maybe upset in the first round of one of those big three if something crazy happens. But that's pretty much it. That's what it's looking like right now in the NBA. Do I believe that in these next 16 games, things will start changing? No, especially in the East. That's pretty locked up. In the West, if LeBron keeps missing games, there's a possibility for the Lakers to drop to maybe the 5th. I don't know about the 6th seed, but as long as they stay out of 8 and don't face OKC first round, they should be okay as long as they're healthy, but that's a big if. But yeah, guys, I told you it was a quick episode. I love you guys. God bless you. Enjoy the race. Enjoy the games. We're heading into playoffs soon in the NBA. We're heading into opening day of the MLB soon here, less than 20 days, I believe, to the MLB season. We have free agency going on. We're going to have pro days here coming up. We're going to see Shador, Cam. The Tennessee Titans are looking like they're going to pick Cam Ward. They didn't look at Sam Darnold. They're not looking at Aaron Rodgers. So it looks like Cam Ward will be the number 1 pick, and that makes it very interesting for number 2 and 3 because Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, and of course Shador's up there, Mason Graham. So it'd be very interesting, but I'm very excited for that. And of course we have racing going on. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Sebring is this weekend as well. I'm always pulling for Cadillac. at the 12 Hours of Sebring. Porsche won last year after winning the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the 24 Hours of Daytona, So hopefully they don't repeat this year. But I'm hoping that Cadillac, the 01, pulls it out, or at least one of the Cadillacs. But it would be nice for the 01 Cadillac to win. But usually Acura and Porsche are very good at this track. So we shall definitely see. I think the Aston Martin gets unveiled this week. The Valkyrie races this weekend. I might be wrong about that. But I believe they were debuting this weekend. So I'm very excited about that if it does happen. And it's always an exciting race to see. All right, guys. I love you guys. Enjoy the races. Enjoy the games. I'm Exec. Thank you for joining me. God bless you.
El fenómeno que todos quieren ser, el chamaquito que no puede